Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I grew up in Georgetown, Tasmania. I grew up initially in a house on in Patterson Crescent, 22 Patterson Crescent. It was a three-bedroom house, weatherboard, basic. We're kind of lucky though. We had twice the backyard space because we were sort of just the way the crescent worked. We got a big section, and we sort of had half our yard was the whole width of the next door neighbour's yard, and then we had a whole another area as well. And over the fence there was a park, and we had a fort and swings and all this sort of stuff, and we had a creek, and up the back behind there was a forest and a mountain and cemetery and everything. And we're kind of lucky with all that. Now, I was there till I was about, I was a teenager basically. My mum and dad split. We moved into a place not far away because the town was tiny, but this first place was right across from the school. You literally walk through the length of 3 houses and across the road, and then you'd be at the school. And that was the primary school. The high school was behind that, so I just had to walk around the primary school to the high school to get to high school. And often a friend of mine would come by and pick me up, and then we'd walk there together, even though he's practically there. So one morning he came around and we were just gone. And we moved into a place in Stonehouse Street. We initially stayed with my sister just because we didn't have anywhere, and it took a few days or a few weeks to get somewhere, I think 3 weeks, or I don't know. But we ended up in this place called on Stonehouse Street. And it was a brick house. It was 3 bedrooms the same. It felt a little bigger. It had wooden floors, which I realise now all the government commission houses that were made back in the day for the people who moved there to work at the aluminium plant or whatever it was, Temco or Comalco, they're all sort of the same. So that was a standard thing. So we had to buy new furniture. We had to get, curtains for the windows and everything, and we bought mats, and we bought our personal possessions, but we couldn't really take any of the furniture from my dad's place, so it took a while to get things to normal. And that was like my second place, and it was a little bit different because it was just my mum, me and my sister, whereas the other place, it had the history, it was my mum and my dad, me and my sister, and all my other brothers and sisters had lived there and were coming in and out, and that it was sort of their place. There was a lot of history. There were like a lot of there was like a cubby house my dad had built. There was a shed for my brother's car parts. There was another shed for the horses, hay and food and all that. And then my dad had his own garden, and it was just very different. This place, it was just an empty backyard, no trees, no nothing. The other place was just like a forest, and it was like a farm. We had guinea pigs and chickens and pigeons and cats and dogs. And one time, we had lots of different animals over the years. And some other place was a bit plainer, a bit simpler. And eventually my mum moved in with my sister, moved into her house. It was probably about a decade that she was there. So I have a lot of memories from the place. That was where I discovered Star Trek, really, for the first time. I'd seen it when I was a kid on repeats in the old house, but it came on TV, Next Generation, season 1 and 2, the whole year, 52 weeks. Basically, every week was like a new episode. They ran it like one whole season. And I started watching the Star Trek movies there. A guy I knew from school, I was sort of friends, not friends with, lived just across the park, and because there was a park sort of going in between all the houses, houses and then park, houses, and you sort of cross the park. He was on the other side. And his dad was a sci-fi fan. He had an Enterprise model. He had magazines on, making models and stuff. And he had articles on the Enterprise, and he had all the movies on video and stuff. I borrowed that stuff from him. So I have a lot of good memories of the place. And I found out recently that it was burned down. It may have been an accident, but it kind of appeared that the person who lived there, or someone who had lived there, well, basically they burned it down because they had a problem with the person who lived there, an ex or something. And it's totally gone. Like, totally gone. Now, being a brick house, I thought it would have stood and just would have been, the wood inside would have burnt, or the ceiling or something like that. But apparently, either way, they tore it down. They couldn't rebuild it, they tore it down, and there wasn't a lot left, and then they tore it all down. And I actually asked a friend, I think I asked my sister, and also asked this guy, could he actually take a photo of the place? And what I got back was just a picture of an empty lot, and I'm like, no one took a photo of it on fire. No one took a photo of it burning. No one took a photo of it afterwards. I'm like, this is nothing. It's just an empty lot there, and it's really strange to this house that I spent all this time in, had all these memories, these really important memories of, discovering Star Trek and a lot of these shows that I loved, and coming out as a teenager, all this stuff. As the house just doesn't exist anymore. It burned and is gone, and they're not rebuilding, I don't think, because that street was the last street of the town, and there was already a bunch of driveways that they'd put in because they were planning to build more houses, and they never did. So as far as I know, it hasn't. It's just an empty lot now, and it's just really weird that my house is gone. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.